Thank you. Additional witnesses in opposition? Seeing none. Questions from members?
Statement, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Assemblymember Ridley Thomas.
I want to salute Assemblywoman Brown for working on this issue. I know Patton State Hospital is near to your district. Metro State Hospital is in relatively close proximity. Our state hospital infrastructure disinvestment is the reason why Los Angeles County essentially operates a mental health hospital that is a jail with 4,000 commitments ongoing and has that population spilling over to Skid Row. So everything we can do to invest in our state hospitals, to invest in capacity, diversion, treatment, early intervention, prevention, decreasing mental health stigma, moves the needle forward. AB 1237 is such a proposal, and I thank you, Assemblywoman Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Ridley Thomas.
Additional questions from committee members? We have a motion. We have a second. Assemblymember Brown, would you like to close?
Yes, I think that Mr. Chiappetta would like to answer a couple. He has a couple of final comments, and then I'd like to close.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Chair, we did meet with individuals who did have concerns for the bill, and we did discuss in great detail establishing standards with respect to the evaluation criteria and the forensic nature of the evaluators and other components. So that was on the table for discussion. We just didn't come to a consensus as to what precisely that language would look like. But we did have discussions, and we were amenable to developing those standards because we recognize the need for it. So to that regard, the bill is silent on that, and we realized there was criteria that needed to be determined. With respect to the comment about a physical exam being ordered by the courts, that would not have to be done by an evaluator. The evaluator essentially does one thing and one thing only, and that's assessing an individual's ability to be competent to stand trial or not guilty by reason of insanity. We are narrowing the bill solely for NGIs, not guilty by reason of insanity. That is all the evaluations. Thirdly, this process has been going on for 30 years. It's been abominable. Our doctors, our psychiatrists in the state hospitals get reports from the evaluators that are incomplete. And we talked about this with the other stakeholders on the other side, where essentially medication orders are silent or incomplete. So this is not a new fling or a newfound buzz that we want to take on. Fourthly, and I'll say this. This bill does not endear all my members to me because we have some of our psychologists and psychiatrists in the ASME family that actually participate and work in these contract evaluation venues. However, the quality of the work has not been great. It's been poor, as other stakeholders will attest to. So we need to do something to change the quality of the forensic patient we're getting in the state hospitals. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very helpful. Would you like to close, Assemblymember Brown?
Thank you very much. Moving forward, we'll narrow the bill to address the education and qualification standards of the court appointees who conduct those evaluations. Our only goal with this bill is to improve the safety of patients and staff at state hospitals. And I ask that the committee move this bill so that we can continue to work towards a solution. And I ask for your aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Assemblymember Brown. I think the original motion was from Assemblymember Ridley Thomas to pass to appropriations, but this bill needs to go to public safety first. Will you accept a friendly amendment to pass it to public safety? Okay. We have a motion and we have a second. The motion is due pass to public safety. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Bonta?
Aye.
Bonta, aye. Mainshine? Aye. Mainshine, aye. Bonilla? Burke? Aye. Burke, aye. Chavez? Aye. Chavez, aye. Chu? Gomez? Aye. Gomez, aye. Gonzalez? Aye. Gonzalez, aye. Hernandez? Lackey? Aye. Lackey, aye. Nazarian? Patterson? Ridley Thomas? Aye. Ridley Thomas, aye. Rodriguez? Aye. Rodriguez, aye. Santiago? Aye. Santiago, aye. Steinnorth? Thurmond? Aye. Thurmond, aye. Waldron? Aye. Waldron, aye. Wood? Aye. Wood, aye.
The bill passes 13-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Assemblymember Brown, when you're ready, please proceed with AB 614.
Yes. I'd like to begin by accepting the amendments proposed in the committee's analysis. AB 614 is a simple bill that will streamline the process used to update health care standards of practice in health facilities and clinics. Just kind of going, if you don't need me to read or give you any more information because you have so much, I just want to say that AB 614 will help streamline the process of updating standards of practice with no cost. I hope you heard that, no cost to the state, and will ensure that Californians receive the quality care that they deserve. And I have one witness that will self-introduce.
Good afternoon. Cheryl Gordon on behalf of the Department of Public Health, sponsor of the bill. Seeking your support of the bill. The bill would provide efficiencies to the departments in its operations related to its ongoing process of updating its regulations. The efficiency would be created by allowing a streamlined option secondary to the rulemaking process under the Administrative Procedures Act, only to be used in limited circumstances where we would actually just be using this streamlined process when we would be updating a reference to a national standard that's already in Title 22, named in Title 22, by a professional organization where those standards are out of date.
Thank you. Additional witnesses in support?
Mr. Chair, members, Gary Passmore with the Congress of California Seniors. We support this.
Thank you. Additional witnesses in support? Seeing none. Witnesses in opposition? Seeing none. Comments or questions from committee members? Seeing none. We have a motion and a second.
Ask for your aye vote.
Thank you for your close. Madam Secretary, please call the roll. The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations.
Bonta.
Aye.
Bonta, aye. Mainshine. Mainshine, aye. Bonilla. Burke. Chavez. Chavez, aye. Chu. Gomez. Gomez, aye. Gonzalez. Gonzalez, aye. Hernandez. Lackey. Lackey, aye. Nazarian. Patterson. Ridley Thomas. Ridley Thomas, aye. Rodriguez. Rodriguez, aye. Santiago. Santiago, aye. Stein North. Thurmond. Thurmond, aye. Waldron. Waldron, aye. Wood. Wood, aye.
Your bill passes 12-0.
Thank you. Thank you, committee.
Thank you, Assemblymember Brown. Next, we have item number 2, AB 59, Assemblymember Waldron. Please proceed when you're ready, Assemblymember Waldron.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee. Thank you. I am losing my voice as time goes on. Just briefly, AB 59 streamlines the process for a county to opt in to participate in assisting outpatient treatment. Assisted outpatient treatment is a program that helps assist family members and others to initiate the treatment for severely mentally ill adults who are incapable of seeking help on their own or have non-compliance with voluntary treatment and who have a history of incarceration or hospitalization or who have threatened to hurt themselves or others. Assisted outpatient treatment, also known as AOT, increases treatment adherence such as medication and is proven to keep these individuals out of our crowded emergency rooms. Currently, the process for counties to implement this, known as Laura's Law, is cumbersome and lengthy, and county budgets are complicated. And for this reason, AB 59 seeks to maintain county and local control by still requiring the opt-in, but it has streamlined the process. So, in addition, last year's SB 585 by Pro Tem Steinberg clarified that Prop 63 monies could be used for AOT. So that solved a lot of the problems with the funding. So I urge your support for this.
Thank you, Assemblymember Waldron. Witnesses in support?
Stuart Thompson, California Medical Association. Given the time and the remaining agenda items for the committee, I'll be brief. Current law requires a board of supervisors to take an affirmative vote to implement a Laura's Law type program, and they have to make requisite findings before making that vote. One of those findings is that initiation of an AOT program will not adversely affect another current program within the county. We think this is inappropriate and unnecessary. Localities are the best ones to decide how exactly to allocate finite mental health resources. So we believe, again, and this does not make Laura's Law implementation mandatory, but we do think it makes it easier for counties who do decide and who do want to implement these programs to do just that. So we urge strong support.
Bernard, on behalf of mentalillnesspolicy.org. We support this bill, which we understand is complementary of AB, 1163 that just passed out of this committee. Both together work to take very good care of a small, suffering, dangerous, and very costly set of people, and also save a lot of money at the same time. Contrary to earlier witnesses, there is ample data that Laura's Law and its analogs around the country does a tremendous job for people. Hard data, good data. And it does so by cutting time in jail, cutting time in hospital, cutting suicide attempts, cutting interaction with law enforcement, helping people stay in the community and sane. People in the analogous programs in other states actually end up liking the program. Here you're hearing a lot of vehement opposition. These people do not even understand that most of them who oppose it will never even be eligible for it. It only addresses a very small but very costly part of the population. We support this bill as we supported the earlier one. They complement each other. You should pass both.
Thank you. Additional witnesses in support?
Mr. Chair, members of the committee, Randall Hager for the California Psychiatric Association. We also support this complementary approach. We think it's important to streamline the process. Thank you.
Douglas Dunn, NAMI Contra Costa, on behalf of 2,500 families, we feel strongly support of this bill, as it also is complementary to AB 1193, and urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Justin Peterson, citizen of Alameda County, in strong support.
Thank you. Additional witnesses in support? Seeing none. Witnesses in opposition?
Adrienne Schulten, County Behavioral Health Directors Association, also here representing the California State Association of Counties and the Urban Counties Caucus. We just wanted to go on record to note that we have removed our opposition as a result of the recent amendment, and we want to thank the Assembly member for working with us on that language. So we're now neutral.
Thank you. Witnesses in opposition?
We have time to discuss our opposition?
Yes?
Okay, good.
6 minutes maximum.
Pardon me? All right.
6 minutes maximum between all the witnesses that are going to make substantive comments.
It's easier to sit for me than...
Please.
Okay. Thank you. It's easier to sit than stand.
Please make yourself comfortable.
Is it on? Yeah. My name is Sally Zimman, and I'm the Executive Director of the California Association of Mental Health Peer-Run Organizations. That is, our members are consumer-run programs and organizations that serve many, many, many clients. We oppose this bill. We do not believe that there is enough evidence, and it does deny people's rights to strengthen what we call outpatient forced treatment. Involuntary outpatient commitment, actually. It's not committing people in the hospitals, it's literally committing them, forced treating them in their own homes and in their community. You've heard that there was evidence that this kind of approach was successful, but in fact, what is successful is the services. A colleague said that earlier. And any of the comparative studies that compared people who were in strictly voluntary services and people who were court-ordered to the same services, there was no difference, and the conclusion was that the court order adds nothing. And nevertheless, you're taking people's rights away. It's the voluntary services that have good outcomes, like full-service partnerships that are supported by the Mental Health Services Act. Secondly, coercion. I know that outpatient commitment treatment proponents talk about that this is a way of getting people to comply, but there is equal and more evidence to show that this kind of approach causes people to be ultimately non-compliant. I'm one of those people that was forcibly treated years ago, but has caused me, even when I might have needed services, to avoid them. In fact, there was a study called the Wellbeing Project that came to the conclusion that 55% of the people who were involuntarily committed said that caused them to avoid service. It has a different kind of effect, a chilling effect, because of the trauma of being court-ordered or involuntarily treated. I am really, really concerned that all of these bills are being driven by stigma. Stigma, the violent mental patient, or a stigma, the person that cannot make decisions for themselves, and that has also been refuted by research. Specifically to this bill, the new amendment that allows counties, well, the amendment that takes away the, let me see, I have to get myself straight in saying this. I do not think it's a good idea for the Board of Supervisors previously had to make a finding that outpatient commitment could not take away from any voluntary children's or adult services. This would remove that statement. I think that is very, very dangerous. You're no longer now looking at an additional tool, which is what the proponents like to call it, to help specific group of people. You're looking at some particular court order and force that could literally be a substitute and take away from current children and adult system of care services. Thank you.
Additional witnesses in opposition?